3, 2, 1. Okay, I believe we are live on YouTube. Let's go live on Facebook. 3, 2, 1. Hello. I'm Dan Salem, live on Facebook at the Dan Salem, live on YouTube at BuzzChomp, just 2 Z's, B-Z-Z-Z. BuzzChomp about to tweet this baby out at BuzzChomp with 3 Z's, and I will be retweeting it here shortly at the Dan Salem on Twitter, at the Dan Salem on Facebook Live, and over on YouTube at BuzzChomp, because that's how we roll. All right. It is Tuesday afternoon. Week 4 is over. We are looking ahead towards Week 5 of the NFL, and we're here talking New York Jets football. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. Seattle Seahawks are a good football team, and it was a hard-fought game on Sunday that did not go particularly well. Still not good for the Jets. Still not very good, not looking hot. Same mistakes, new week. That's going to be my mantra here today. You'll hear it over and over and over again from me. Same mistakes, new week. Let me start in the secondary. There are big holes in the defensive secondary for the New York Jets. They've been exploited every single week by opposition teams. The only week we were able to overcome it was when the opposing team, a la the Buffalo Bills, their receiver and Tyrod Taylor, Russell Wilson picked us apart. Who else? Oh, freaking Alex Smith picked us apart. No one generally lumps Alex Smith in that category, but you see how that's the issue here. Next week we got Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. Guess who's probably going to pick us apart unless we change something dramatically. Now, I was talking last week that the secondary lacked, aggressiveness, or it was too aggressive, and so it needed to shore up and not give up the big play. That was thinking a little too small. I'm changing my tune after watching the defense underperform for a second week. We got no pass rush on Seattle. Now, Seattle's an excellent team, but this defense of the Jets, we need to be more aggressive. Our strength is up front. We have an excellent young linebacking core, too. I'm extremely impressed with how they've played so far. Granted, the defense as a whole has been unable to tackle outside of Darrelle Revis. They're just waving arm tackles and getting run through. The opposite side on this past game, Seattle, they wrapped people up and tackled them with ease. That's how you stop people. Instead of 10-yard gains, you get up 3 because you tackled properly. But we need to be more aggressive on defense. We have not gotten many sacks at all from blitzing outside of week 1 of the season. It's like, okay, that no one expected it week 1. Now they expect it, and they've stopped every single thing. Well, maybe you should do a different blitz. Maybe you should try a new scheme, because we need to get to the quarterback. It's the only way we're going to stop them from throwing a ton of yards on us is if we get more aggressive, get to the quarterback, get sacks, cause turnovers. That's the defensive issues here. Offense, still no rhythm. The new week, different reasons. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, there was no rhythm on offense this week. But really, defense, more aggressive. We got to get some turnovers. I'm unbelievable. I cannot remember the last time the Jets caused a turnover that was meaningful. And no sacks, really. I think we had 1 against Seattle after 7 to start the year. What? We need to sack the quarterback. We need to get to Ben Roethlisberger, make him panic, make him throw errant throws, make him throw an interception. That's how we're going to win against the Steelers. I can forgive the big plays, right? I can forgive a big play to Antonio Brown this weekend if we're causing turnovers, getting to the quarterback, getting sacks, wreaking havoc, and making them get off the field. Honestly, the other team holding the ball too long. The Jets, they like to play time of possession on offense, but we got to get their offense off the field. Otherwise, it's shitty. It's no good. It's no good at all. Big plays, turnovers. All right, so the offense. We need to get a little faster. I commended the Jets for sticking with the run on Sunday. It was kind of working, except they were all over Forte, and so then we went to Powell, below Powell, it worked. That's good. I wrote earlier today, keep mixing it up. If they're going to cue on Forte, then give it to Powell. They'll start queuing on Powell, then give it back to Forte. This is a dynamic duo. Get them back more into the passing game, and it's really going to pay dividends. Eric Decker was injured this past week, so we had a lot of rookies in, and it was just obvious the chemistry, the rhythm between him and Fitzpatrick were not in sync. They just did not have the gel that they had and needed. And that will come with time, because I really think our rookies are super talented, and they need to believe in themselves, have a little more confidence. They dropped some passes they shouldn't have. They were a little timid running their routes. Learn from Brandon Marshall. The veterans are there to teach you. They can really set the tone. And our rookies, they can do good things. But, I mean, the secret's out on Anunwa. So without Decker, he's going to get covered like hell. And so we need the rookies to step up. Now, I believe, I'm looking over on the Jets page here, Decker, who's injured his rotator cuff or torn it, said he feels better than last week, but he doesn't know if he'll play. He's not going to play if he tore his rotator cuff. That's a surgery injury, or you let it rest and then you hope it's better and then you can come back for a few weeks. Let's see. Decker said he's having trouble sleeping because of the discomfort. He didn't rule out surgery after the season. Yeah, so they're going to let him rest for a couple weeks, give him a couple cortisone shots. He'll be game by game, maybe get a few plays in. Thankfully, we've got the other rookie receivers to replace him. But like I said, they need to believe in themselves more. And I don't know, get a pair of gloves like Brandon Marshall, because you dropped passes that crushed drives this past weekend. We can't do that. We're not going to win like that. But this comes back to Fitzpatrick, okay? Like, sure, you want to throw it to Decker, you want to throw it to Marshall, but you got to really work with these young guys in practice during the week here and get them to believe in themselves, and the two of you develop a rapport. You need those 3 and 4 guys, because Marshall's going to get double covered now. Onunwa, he's good, he's excellent, but they're going to double cover him at times too, and so you're going to have to go to the other guys. You got to get it to Bilal Powell and Forte too. I look at Uchan Gale on offense coordinating. Get our running backs more involved in the passing game. Let the tight ends do the blocking, because they didn't appear to be able to catch the ball too well. I mean, maybe give them more opportunity, but honestly, we got to go and throw to the guys that can catch. I think our rookie receivers can catch, but they're kind of small. We need the big bodies to gain those extra yards and fight for them. And chemistry. We need the chemistry. I know it was the first week with some of these guys on the offense, and it'll come with time, but we don't got a lot of time here. The season's slipping away. Any questions before I proceed through my notes? All right. Thank you. Final thoughts on this past Sunday's action versus Seattle Seahawks, a loss at home. The team needs to lean on its strengths. Okay? What I mean here is we got a lot of veterans on offense. The offensive line, in the backfield, a couple of receivers, Fitzpatrick himself. We have these offensive veterans, and we need to lean on them, and then we can slip the rookies in. But honestly, they aren't leading. They are not leading the charge. Okay? Fitzpatrick is not leading by example. He's feeling like he's got to shoulder the entire load on his shoulder. That's ridiculous, man. You can't force a play in there. Live to play the next play. Dump it off for 2 so you have a shorter down to gain instead of throwing a pick. I know at the end of the game you want to try to make a comeback, but when you throw an interception at the end of the game, it just screws it all up. You're not going to get that comeback because you just gave it to the other team. You can't force it to Brandon Marshall every single play because you don't have confidence in your rookies. You got to build that confidence with them, go back to them when they drop a pass, and believe that they're going to catch it next time. They are excellent, but you got to give them the opportunity. You got to lead and believe in them because you need them. Decker's going to be out for a little bit. You need them to step up, and you need them to believe in themselves. On defense, the strength is the defensive line, and we need to go back there. We need to blitz and get to the quarterback and disrupt the backfield. We've been doing a good job of stopping the run, but it's not carried over into the passing game. They're just passing it well on us because we can't stop them for crap. Revis might be injured. We need people in the backfield to, we can't let the receivers on the opposition just run wild. Okay, if we don't get to the quarterback and sack them or cause him to throw and then give him a ton of time to throw the ball, guess what? He's going to find the open man because the coverage breaks down over time. And the longer he has to throw it, the more likely the coverage breaks down. And these great quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger coming up, they always find their guy. They always do it. Okay. Some surprises here. I was frankly, I was surprised how good Seattle looked. I know that they played really well the week prior, but they got beat by the Rams. They barely beat the Dolphins. I guess, it's Russell Wilson to Jimmy Graham, and that combination, it's getting going. That's kind of unstoppable. Wow. But I was impressed. They looked really good. Their defense still top notch. And the Jets are not in their class right now. They are not even close. And it's okay. It's okay. The season's young, and honestly, it's competitive in the AFC East. Right now, Oakland and I guess it would be Baltimore are leading the wild cards at 3-1 apiece. There is nobody worse than 3-1 that would be in the playoffs today if they started today. You got a couple 4-0 teams, and everybody else is 3-1, and then the Jets are back at 1-3. We got 2 games to make up. We got to win these head-to-heads. We already lost to Cincinnati head-to-head. We got to beat Pittsburgh here head-to-head. We get Baltimore as well, and we got to win the head-to-head matchups. This is going to be tough. We haven't fared well with star quarterback to star receiver. We got to shut them down. Got to get at them. Got to make them uncomfortable in the pocket. And frankly, I was also surprised how ineffective our passing game was. Now, I know Seattle is amazing on defense. We are going to be able to pass on Pittsburgh more. We're going to be able to run the ball in Pittsburgh more. Freaking Philadelphia just made them look stupid. I think the Jets can do quite the same. But we need that confidence. We need that swagger. And after the Kansas City game, the Jets never really regained their swagger. They had one pretty good drive that ended in a field goal, and I think one more late that did result in a touchdown, but was felt more lucky than anything. And then that fluke touchdown, which is pretty amazing. Good Sharon Peak getting in the end zone, first touchdown, woo-woo, heads-up play. But we need some swagger. We need some consistency on offense. Swagger's key for this. Swagger is real key here. And I already mentioned, truly surprised how non-existent the pass rush has been since week 1. I expected them to just be causing havoc for opposing quarterbacks, and instead barely getting to them. Everyone's scrambling away, and they can't take them down. Got to work on that. Decker is going to be out. Repercussions? Rookies, you get your shot, man. Earn your place on the team. Devin Smith's coming back in mid-season, and it says a second-round pick. They're going to favor him unless you guys step up. You're getting your opportunity. It's not often that the starter goes down and you get to step up into his place. I'm looking at you, Sharon Peak. I'm looking at you, Robbie Anderson. I think Marshall, the other rookie Marshall's still out. But I'm looking at you guys. Step it up. Fitzpatrick, give him the opportunity to make some plays. You need them. You need them big, big time. Okay, so this week versus the Steelers. It's the same problem for the Jets defense, yet our offense should fare better. I'm not scared of Pittsburgh's defense at this point, not at all. But they have a really good offense. They run the ball excellent. I believe Le'Veon Bell's returning this week. So they're going to really try to work him in. Good thing we can stop the run. But then they got Antonio Brown and is it Latavius Murray? I think he's still on the Steelers. That's who they're throwing to. I'd have to double check. I'm blanking right now. But friggin', what's the difference? It's Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. That's the big money for them. We got to shut that down. We got to get to the quarterback. Otherwise, he's going to throw to him all day. It's likely they get at least a touchdown. But, oh my goodness, did they just destroy the Chiefs in that regard. And we couldn't. We could not destroy the Chiefs. Yet they could destroy the Chiefs. So, that being said, we got to change. Forget the past. Have short memories. Forget it. We can run and pass on Pittsburgh's defense. We can make them feel urgent. We can make them get away from what they want to do, which is run and then mix it up to the pass to Brown to get him open. We can double team Brown and then get to the Ben Roethlisberger, put him on his back, and make him rush the ball and make him just not have much time. Honestly, keep him off the field. That's what we got to do, is keep him off the field. We can exploit the Steeler defense because how Philly picked them apart. Philly's defense shut them down. We got a really good defense too. We have yet to exhibit it. It's really time to step it up, boys. Step it up. Questions. Then I'm going to get to the fantasy side of things for our Jets because things took a turn for the worse the last 2 weeks here. Okay, fantasy football. It's fun if you're a Jets fan to have Jets players on your fantasy team. Last week, not so hot for or maybe Brandon Marshall was the exception there. I'm going to stick with him. Stick with Brandon Marshall this week if you got him. I mean, he's our go-to receiver. He's due for another 100-yard game. And like I said, I think we can exploit Pittsburgh's defense. We went more to Powell last week than Forte. I think that's because that's what Seattle was giving us. I think both of them are going to have a good game. I really like Forte to bounce it back, find the end zone again, and get things going. They've been consistently trying to get him going, and it's going to work this week. Pittsburgh does not have the same defense that Seattle did, nor Kansas City even. And I mean, Powell's a good crapshoot option, but I really think Forte's going to put up the points again this weekend. Same with Brandon Marshall. And I mean, if the Jets offense gets it going, Onwua's a good option, but otherwise it's hard to say. It's definitely going to Marshall, but I don't know. I mean, it might be a slow-scoring game against Pittsburgh, like 14-10, something like that. And so it's unlikely they all find the end zone. And unlike expectations to start the year where we thought maybe we'd get a lot of sacks and turnovers, Jets defense is not a good own in fantasy. Leave them on the sideline until they prove otherwise. I think I said that last week. The offense is going to bounce back. Steelers, they can't stop everybody. The Jets do have the weapons. We need short memories. We need to forget it. Seattle may be one of the top teams in the league. We don't know yet. So don't feel bad about your performance. Step it up. Beat Pittsburgh. Okay, let's take a quick turn around the New York world of sports before I give you some more final thoughts on our Jets. Wish I had more positive things to share. I enjoyed watching our team, except that I didn't because it was painful to see how they were inept. Thankfully, the Mets are in the playoffs. Wildcard game tomorrow, Wednesday. They will play the San Francisco Giants at home for the right to move on and face the Chicago Cubs. Ooh, Mets-Cubs. That will be a fun one. Mets in the World Series last year. They got to win this one game to move forward to the next round of the playoffs. I like them to do it. I know San Francisco, it's an even year. It's their kind of deal. And they've had the pitching, but honestly, they have been a very bad baseball team since the All-Star break. And the Mets have been a good team. They've held on, they pulled ahead, and they've held on for that wild card for the last month, just playing good baseball. And so, yes, San Francisco may have history on their side. They've got their postseason swagger. They got their great pitcher. But the Mets got a lot of that too. Plus, they are defending National League champions. They're going to step it up. I like them to win this one game and go face the Cubs. Okay, Giants. Man, the Giants looked as bad as the Jets. Not good for New York football. I mean, they got 2 wins and they got 2 losses, so they're 2-2. They are not in the same class as the Vikings. The Vikings, wow. And the Giants, not wow. Their defense, again, they're not getting a pass rush either. They can't stop anybody in the passing game either. And then on offense, they weren't able to pass and move the ball like they should to their great receivers. And they don't have a running game with Jennings out. So, tough place for the Giants. Lucky for them on their division. Well, I don't know. Redskins beat them. Dallas, Philly, both looking good. Not lucky for them. They need to find some new life here, or it's going to go south quickly for the Giants as well. Both Giants, Jets looking unfortunately average this season. So fans, we need short memories. Yankees, they ended their year on a high despite missing the playoffs with all the rookies coming into play. Got a lot to look forward to next season. Let's have short memories, fans, okay? That's my final thought. The only way we're going to enjoy the rest of this Jets season if we have short memories. I wrote today on BuzzChomp.com that the Jets, they no longer have playoff aspirations. And what I meant by that is one game at a time, all right? I entered the year thinking this is a playoff team. We got the firepower on offense. We got the firepower up front on defense. And any weaknesses would get covered by those. But absolutely, it's been the opposite. Every opposing team has exploited our weaknesses like no other and maybe really stopped our strengths. So far, strengths been stopped, weaknesses been stopped, weaknesses been exploited. Okay, short memories. Our strengths can still be strengths. Our weaknesses can get stronger. We need to get out front of teams and stop playing from behind. We need to stick it to them on both sides of the ball, be more aggressive, and truly just make a name for ourselves. It's like too ho-hum. Like, I love our coach's demeanor, but honestly, we need a little fire. We need a little, I'm going to crush you, and really, I want to win this. Not, Oh, look at Fitzpatrick living up to his old nickname that everyone hated, but now he's freaking set a record, so it's got to be true. Patrick is a terrible nickname, yet he has thrown so many interceptions in the last 2 games. We got to have short memories. We got to believe that we can play up to our level like we did the first 2 weeks of the season, more or less. We got to win games. I mean, we may not win them pretty, but if we win, we can move forward to the next week and win more. And right now, my goal as a fan is to see our team get over 500 and quick. A couple weeks here, we can do it. We got Pittsburgh. We got Arizona, who doesn't look so good anymore either. And they've got a few more easier games before the bye week. No game is easy, but honestly, if we get a little momentum against Pittsburgh, maybe sneak a surprise victory against Pittsburgh on the road, that's going to go a long way towards turning this season back around on the track of that we originally saw. But fans, short memories. Let's just think to 1 week at a time. Forget the playoffs. Forget the record. Forget the standings. Pittsburgh, got to beat them. They're a conference rival. They're going to be in the playoff hunt. Let's take them down so that we own the head-to-head and we can move forward. All right. Any questions from our 2 live audiences before I wrap up things? I'm heading to see Fantagram tonight at the Palladium here in Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome. Okay. I don't blame you for no questions. Freaking Jets, another crappy game. Try not to swear here. Another crappy game on Sunday. Not too exciting. Sort of in it to the end. Kind of boring because we weren't. Never really got anything going on offense. Never really stopped them on defense. That's tough. But this team, we're not the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, not sorry. We can win some football games. We can have a good season. I will be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, talking to our New York Jets live on Facebook at the Dan Salem, live on YouTube.com at BuzzChomp on YouTube. Hit me up. Follow me on Twitter at the Dan Salem. Follow BuzzChomp at BuzzChomp, B-U-Z-Z-Z. That's 3 Z's. For all of my sports, Todd Salem's writing the Giants. We got a little sports debate going Mondays and Fridays. Seesaw Sports. It's all on BuzzChomp.com. And this is me live, Dan Salem, talking Jets football. Thank you. Until next week, you've been amazing live audiences.